Good morning, students. In previous class we started the structure of prokaryotic cell. Today we will continue with that one. Structure of prokaryotic cell. In structure of prokaryotic cell, we started the structure of bacteria. In the bacterial cell, we completed the cell envelope. So, in cell envelope, we completed the three part, that is glycocalyx, outermost layer, next to the cell wall, and the third one is the plasma membrane. After that, we completed the surface appendages, that is flagella, pila and fimbriae. Their structure, their function, totally we complete. Today we will start with the internal structure. So what is present inside the bacterial cell? In this one, so I will draw the rough diagram of the bacterial cell. You know that one. This is the plasma membrane. This plasma membrane, it is followed by the cell wall. Cell wall. Above the cell wall, what it shows? It shows one more layer, and what this one more layer is called? This layer is called as a glycocalyx. So, inside this one, we are going to see a basic structure. The bacterial cell is fluid structure, and what this semi-fluid structure is called? It is called as a cytoplasm. So inside the cytoplasm, what are the substances present? We are going to study. So the bacterial cell, it is filled by cytoplasm. Inside the cytoplasm, there is no well-developed nucleus. So true nucleus and membrane-bound cell organelles are absent. Membrane-bound cell organelles are absent in this one. So, then what is present? It shows a very simple structure because of that one. Inside this one, it shows the presence of a circular DNA, double-stranded circular DNA. And what is double-stranded circular DNA is called? It is called as a genomic DNA, or it is also called as a chromosomal DNA. So, inside this one, it shows the genomic DNA, or this DNA, it is called as a chromosomal DNA. How this DNA is there? This DNA, it is the circular DNA. Circular means without any free ends. Circular DNA is of two strands, so it is called as a dsDNA. And very important one, this DNA is the naked DNA. Naked DNA means this DNA is not associated with histone proteins. It is not associated with the histone proteins. So this DNA, it is called as a naked DNA. There are no actual structure of chromosomes, only it shows the naked DNA. As it controls all the activity of the cell, so it is called as a chromosomal DNA. This DNA, it is not covered by nuclear membrane. So there is no nuclear membrane, only in a part of cytoplasm. This part of cytoplasm where the DNA is scattered, what this part is called? It is called as a nucleoid. There is no special nuclear membrane. Nuclear envelope is completely absent. The part of the cytoplasm where this DNA is present, this one is called as a nucleoid. So what is nucleoid? Nucleoid is nothing but a part of cytoplasm. Part of cytoplasm where DNA is present. This part, it is called as a nucleoid. along with this genomic DNA, some extra DNA are there, and what these extra DNA are called? These are called as plasmids. Now we are going to study with the plasmids. So along with the bulk DNA, major DNA or chromosomal DNA, some extra DNA are present, additional DNA molecules are present. These are called as plasmids. So we are going to study with the plasmids. Plasmids. Now, what are the plasmids? Plasmids are the self-replicating, small circular, double-stranded DNA present in cytoplasm of bacterial cell. So these are the self-replicating. Meaning of self-replicating, they divide itself. For their division, they do not depend on the genomic DNA or chromosomal DNA. So these are self-replicating. They prepare their own copies. Small, size is small, circular DNA without free ends, double-stranded, and they are present in the cytoplasm of bacterial cell. These plasmids, they provide the unique phenotypic character to the bacterial cell. What they provide? They provide the unique phenotypic characters to the bacterial cell. One of that character, for example, antibiotic resistance. One of these character, what is the antibiotic resistance? So what are the antibiotics? You know, these are the proteins produced by some organism, that is some microbes, and they are responsible for inhibiting or killing the other microbes. So there are different types of antibiotics are there, like tetracycline, kanamycin. Those are the few examples of the antibiotic. Usually the bacteria do not grow in a medium containing antibiotic, but these plasmid contain certain genes. In the plasmid, the DNA, plasmid is nothing but the DNA. What this DNA shows? This DNA shows the presence of some characters that will provide resistance against the antibiotic. So the plasmids are responsible for providing unique phenotypic characters to the bacterial cell. These plasmids, they are nowadays they are used in the biotechnology for the gene transfer method. So these plasmids, what they are used? They are used in the biotechnology for the gene transfer, for producing the transgenic organisms. So in this one, the gene is transferred from one organism to the another organism, and in that one, these plasmids, what they act? They act as a vehicle DNA molecules. They carry the gene of interest from one organism to the another organism. So these plasmids, they act as a vehicle DNA molecules. Then the next part that is present inside the bacterial cell, and that is the ribosome. So the next one is the ribosomes. Ribosomes. What are these ribosomes? The ribosomes are the small granular cell organelle. Small granular cell organelle. And these cell organelles, they are not bounded by any membrane. So there is no membrane around the ribosomes. Inside the bacterial cell, such many ribosomes are present. So these structures, these are the ribosomes. The bacterial cell, they show the presence of the ribosomes. In case of the bacterial cell, the ribosomes are found attached to plasma membrane. Where they are found? In bacterial cell, the ribosomes are found attached to the plasma membrane. Even in eukaryotic cell also the ribosomes are present. But what is the difference between the prokaryotic ribosome and eukaryotic ribosome? In case of the eukaryotes, the ribosomes are of 70S type. Which type of the ribosomes are present in prokaryotes? The prokaryote shows the presence of the 70S type of ribosomes. What is this S? S is nothing but the Swedberg's constant. It is the Swedberg's constant. What is this Swedberg constant? Swedberg is the name of the scientist. It is a measure of size of the ribosomes. It is a measure of size of ribosomes based on centrifugation. Based on the centrifugation, it is that one is called as a Swedberg constant. So 70S type of ribosomes are found inside the cytoplasm of the prokaryotic cell, and commonly where they are found? They found attached to the plasma membrane. These ribosomes are made up of two subunits. These ribosomes, what they are made up of? These ribosomes are made up of two subunits. One, it is the smaller subunit. One is the smaller subunit and another one is the larger subunit. So these are the such granular structure. So they are made up of two subunits. So this one, it is the smaller subunit and this one is the larger subunit. So you know that the main ribosome is of 70S type. The smaller subunit, it is made up of 30S and the larger subunit, it is made up of 50S. Now your question will be, so it will become totally 80S and you wrote as a 70S. But when the size of the ribosomes were measured separately, remember each ribosome is made up of two subunits, smaller and larger. These two subunits inside the cytoplasm, they may associated with each other or they may dissociated from each other. So they may found attached with each other or they found as a separate one. Usually when the ribosomal subunits were attached during the process of the protein synthesis, the ribosomal subunit will find attached with each other, and when the entire size of the ribosome was measured, it is about 70S, and when the separated subunits, that is independently when the smaller subunit and size of the larger subunits were measured, they are found to be 30S and 50S. So in case of the prokaryotic cell or inside the bacterial cell, the ribosomes are 70S type of ribosomes made up of two subunits, smaller subunit and larger subunit. The smaller subunit is of 30S and the larger subunit is of 50S. Then inside the cytoplasm, the ribosomes may also occur in the form of polysomes, or these are also called as a polyribosomes. Inside the cytoplasm, how the ribosomes may also found? The ribosomes may also found in the form of polysomes or in the form of polyribosomes. What are these polysomes or polyribosomes? These, when many ribosomes are attached to a string of mRNA, then it is called as a polysome or polyribosome. So this is the mRNA. mRNA means messenger RNA, which carries a message from that is from DNA for the process of the protein synthesis, that is the mRNA. And to this mRNA, when many ribosomes are attached, many ribosomes are attached to the string of mRNA. So what are these structures? These are the ribosomes. And what this entire structure is called? This entire structure, it is called as a polysome, or it is also called as a polyribosome. What is the function of these polysomes or polyribosomes? These polysomes or polyribosomes, they are involved in the process of the protein synthesis, particularly during the process of translation. They carry the information, and these ribosomes are nothing but the protein factories of the cell. These are the places where the process of the protein synthesis takes place. So simply, what the ribosomes are called? They are called as the protein factories of the cell. Simply we are going to remember 70S type of ribosome in prokaryotic cell, 2 subunits, 30S and 50S, may found attached to the plasma membrane, may found freely in cytoplasm, or they are in the form of polysomes. One major function performed by them, it is the protein synthesis. Now, we are going to study with the third component that is present inside the cytoplasm of the bacterial cell, and that is inclusion bodies. So, the next one is the inclusion bodies. Inclusion bodies. So, these are nothing but the stored food materials. The inclusion bodies are nothing but the stored food material. Storage food material is in the form of inclusion bodies. This stored food material, it is in the form of phosphate granules. It is in the form of phosphate granules, or it may be in the form of the cyanophycean granules. Cyanophycean granules, and these cyanophycean granules are commonly found in the blue-green algae or cyanobacteria, or it is in the form of the glycogen granules. They are in the form of the glycogen granules. So, such many inclusion bodies are found inside the bacterial cell. So, these are the inclusion bodies, that is the stored food material. In some of the cyanobacteria or in some of the BGA, there is a presence of the gas vacuoles are also there. Small gas vacuoles may be also there. And what is their function? They provide the buoyancy, or they help in the floating. So this is the internal structure of the cytoplasmic components of the bacterial cell. One, chromosomal DNA or genomic DNA, naked DNA not associated with protein, circular double-stranded DNA. Second one is a plasmid, extra chromosomal self-replicating DNA, extra DNA, which provides unique character to the bacterial cell. Third one is the ribosomes, which are the protein factories of the cell, and the fourth one is the inclusion bodies. So, due to the absence of nuclear membrane or well-developed nucleus, and due to the absence of compartmentalization cell organelle, the bacterial cell or prokaryotic cell, it shows the very simple structure. Now, we'll start with the study of eukaryotic cells. So, the next part of our topic, eukaryotic cells. The next one is the structure of eukaryotic cell. So, what is the meaning of eukaryotes? Right? Eu means what? Eu means true. What is the meaning of it? Eu, what it shows? Eu means true and karyon means nucleus. Karyon means nucleus. So, these are the cells which are having the well developed nucleus. So in them, what is there? In these cells, the nuclear membrane is well developed. Nuclear membrane is well developed. They show the well developed nuclear membrane. And in them also, what is there? Membrane bound cell organelles are also present. Membrane bound cell organelles are also present. Such a cell, it is called as a eukaryotic cell. Where do you find the eukaryotic cell? The eukaryotic cells are commonly found in the kingdom Protista, then in case of the fungi kingdom, then all the plant cells and all the animal cells, they exhibit the eukaryotic cell. Due to the presence of well developed nucleus, due to the presence of membrane bound cell organelles, compared to the prokaryotic cells, these are the advanced cells, and comparatively to the prokaryotic cell, these are the complex cells, comparatively advanced type, and they are complex. In structure of eukaryotic cell, we are going to study with the eukaryotic cell by taking the example of plant cell and animal cell. And after the completion of plant cell and animal cell, we are going to differentiate between the prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. What are the differences between the prokaryotic and eukaryotic? We are going to study. So the first we are going to differentiate between we will study the detailed structure or ultrastructure of plant cell and animal cell. So I will start with the ultrastructure of the plant cell. Ultrastructure of plant cell. So, the plant cell, they are having the definite shape, usually square or rectangular. Square or rectangular in shape. And these plant cells are having a definite shape, rigid support due to the presence of the cell wall. I am going to draw the structure of the plant cell. So, this is the layer. So, what it shows? This one is nothing but the plasma membrane. Plasma membrane. Above the plasma membrane, it shows the presence of one more layer. What this structure is called? This one, it is the cell wall. So, cell wall is present inside the plant cell only. It is the outermost boundary in case of the plant cell, that it represents the cell wall. So, this is the cell wall. Above the plasma membrane, one protective layer is there, and what this protective layer is called? This protective layer is called as a cell wall. Then inside this one, whatever the inner content is there, that entire inner content is called as a cytoplasm, protoplasm. In that one, it is divided into, what it divided? It divided into cytoplasm and the vacuole. So inside the plant cell, one of the important feature of the plant cell is the presence of a large vacuole. So this one, what it is called? It is called as a vacuole. And this vacuole, it has a layer, the covering of the vacuole. What this covering of the vacuole is called? It is called as a tonoplast. The covering of the vacuole, it is called as a tonoplast. Due to the presence of a large vacuole, in case of the plant cell, the nucleus is situated towards the periphery. The nucleus is not in center. The central part, 90% volume of the plant cell is occupied by the vacuole, and because of that, the nucleus is situated towards the periphery. So this is the nucleus, and what this nucleus shows? This nucleus is surrounded by two-layered membrane, and this two-layered membrane, what it is called? This one is called as a nuclear membrane. This one, it is called as a nuclear membrane. This nuclear membrane is not continuous, but it leaves some gaps, and what these gaps are called? These gaps are called as a nuclear pores. What these gaps are called? Those are called as a nuclear pores. This nucleus is also filled with some liquid. It is also filled with the semi-fluid structure, and what this one is called? This one, it is called as a nucleoplasm. The liquid, the sap present inside the nucleus, it is called as a nucleoplasm. Inside this nucleoplasm, one or more rounded bodies are present. It shows one or more rounded bodies, and what these rounded bodies are called? These are called as a nucleolus. This structure, one or more rounded bodies, it is called as a nucleolus. Along with nucleolus, it contains a network of thread-like structure. So many, it is a entire network of thread-like structure is there, and this network of thread-like structure, what it is called? It is called as a chromatin material. Network of thread-like structure, it is called as a chromatin material, and this entire structure, that is from the chromatin material, nuclear membrane, nuclear pores, nucleoplasm, nucleolus, this entire structure, what it represents? It represents the nucleus. Nucleus peripherally located, bounded by two-layered membrane, nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane is not continuous. It leaves a small openings, small gaps. Those are called as nuclear pores, filled with a basic jelly substance, that is called as the nucleoplasm. Inside the nucleoplasm, one or more rounded bodies are present. It is called as nucleolus, and it shows a network of thread-like structure. And what this network of thread-like structure is called? It is called as a chromatin material. You know that this chromatin material only undergo the coiling, and it forms the chromosomes. So this is the structure of nucleus. Then from the nuclear membrane, there is a extension of some tubular structure takes place. Some tubular structures are extended from the nuclear membrane, and these tubular structures, so such tubular structures are extended from the nuclear membrane, and generally they extend from nuclear membrane to the plasma membrane. Commonly, I drawn up to this only, but generally, most commonly, they are extended from nuclear membrane to the plasma membrane, And these extended structures, tubular structures, what these are called? Endoplasmic reticulum. So these extended structures are called as a endoplasmic reticulum. In case of the eukaryotic cell or plant cell, two types of the endoplasmic reticulum are there. One is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, another one is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. In case of the rough endoplasmic reticulum, on the surface of this endoplasmic reticulum, there are presence of ribosomes are there. So what are these dots? Red color dots. These are nothing but the ribosomes. And due to this presence of ribosomes, this ER, the surface of this endoplasmic reticulum is rough. So this one, what these are called? These are called as a rough endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum. Their surface is rough. Why their surface is rough? Due to the presence of ribosomes on their surface. Another endoplasmic reticulum without the ribosomes, this one is called as a smooth endoplasmic reticulum, or simply it is called as a smooth ER, endoplasmic reticulum. Due to the absence of ribosomes, their surface is smooth, so they are called as a smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The remaining part of the cell, it is filled, this entire structure, so it is filled with the jelly-like structure. And what this entire structure is called? This entire one, it is called as a cytoplasm. It is filled with the basic jelly-like structure called as a cytoplasm. Along with in this cytoplasm, along with ER, many other structures are also present. So it shows the presence of such bowl-like structures, and these bowl-like structure, what these are called? These are called as Golgi bodies. Or in case of the plant cell, these Golgi bodies, these are also called as dictyosomes. In case of the plant cell, what these Golgi bodies are called? These Golgi bodies are called as dictyosomes. So these are the bowl-like structure or cup-like appearance. The important character of the plant cell, it shows the presence of a plastid. What are the plastid? These are the plastid. These are the colored or pigment containing cell organelles. Such pigment containing cell organelles, what these are called? These are called as plastids. One of the important plastids are the chloroplast plastids, and I will show that it contain a green color pigment containing cell organelle. So simply what it is called? It is called as a chloroplast. So the chloroplast commonly found in leaves. In case of the flowers, in case of the fruits, they are having different colors, and those different colors are due to the presence of different pigments, and all those pigment containing cell organelles, they are commonly called as a plastid, and the chlorophyll one containing one, it is called as a chloroplast. In this one, it also shows the presence of the mitochondria. So the mitochondria, these are also double membrane bound cell organelles. The inner membrane of mitochondria, it shows the presence of finger-like projections, and these finger-like projections are called as a cristae. So the inner membrane, it shows the finger-like projections, it is called as a cristae. So these are this structure, it is nothing but the mitochondria. Then inside the plant cell, there are lysosomes are also present. It shows the presence of a single membrane bound structure, single membrane bound bodies, and these single membrane bound bodies, what these are called? These are called as lysosomes. Comparatively, the number of lysosomes are less in case of the plant cell as compared to the animal cell. Along with the lysosome, Other single membrane bound cell organelles, single membrane bound structures are also present, and these single membrane bound structure, what these are called? These are called as a microbodies. Some single membrane bound structures are present, and what these single membrane bound structures are called? These are called as a microbodies. The common type of the microbodies which are commonly found, two common type of the microbodies found in plant cell. One is the peroxisome, and another one is the glyoxysome. The spirosomes are also found, two common microbodies found in the plant cell. One is the peroxisome and glyoxysome. Then along with this one, inside the cytoplasm there are presence of cytoskeletal structures are there. Some proteinaceous tubules are also found inside the cytoplasm, and what these proteinaceous tubules are called? These are called as a cytoskeletal structure. These are the cytoskeletal structure. What the cytoskeleton consists of? Cytoskeleton, these consist of a proteinaceous structure. These consist of proteinaceous structure, and these proteinaceous structure, it consists of two types of the proteinaceous structure. One, they are called as a microtubules, and another one, it is called as a microfilaments. Two types of the proteinaceous structures are found. There are, one is microtubules and another one is the microfilaments. These microtubules are made up of hollow tube-like structure, while the microfilaments are the filled, or these are the solid structures. These are the microfilaments. These microtubules are made up of special type of a protein, that one is called as tubulin, while the microfilaments are made up of another type of the protein, and that one is called as a actin. What is the function of the cytoskeleton? The cytoskeleton help in providing the support. That is, what is the structure? Function of the skeleton? Proper shape, mechanical support. The same structure, the same function is performed by the cytoskeleton, that is the microtubules and microfilaments. So this is the structure of the plant cell. One more, outermost layer is the cell wall. In between the cell wall there are some cytoplasmic connections are there from in between two neighboring cells. Some cytoplasmic connections run through the cell wall, and these cytoplasmic connections, what these are called? These are called as a plasmodesmata. Later we are going to study during the cell wall. Simply, there is a cytoplasmic connection between the two neighboring cells are there, and that one is called as a plasmodesmata. So this is the overview of the plant cell. I will just repeat once again. Outermost boundary, cell wall, followed by plasma membrane. Then inner side, it is filled with the basic jelly substance, protoplasm. The central part is occupied by a large vacuole. Membrane of the vacuole is called as tonoplast. Due to the presence of vacuole, nucleus is shifted towards the periphery. It shows the presence of nuclear membrane, nuclear pore, nucleoplasm, nucleolus and chromatin material. Extending from the nuclear membrane, endoplasmic reticulum, two endoplasmic reticulum, one is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, another one is the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Along with that, it shows the Golgi complex, plastids or chloroplast, mitochondria, lysosome, microbodies, cytoskeleton. In next class, we will discuss about the animal cell, and after that we will differentiate between the plant cell and animal cell. Thank you.